Today we're looking at estimation. Now, estimation is very handy for several things in mathematics, but the main one is simply to do a quick check on an answer that you've come up with. So you've gone through the full process of calculating the answer to some equation, but you just want to check it quickly to make sure you're on the right track and you haven't made any major mistakes. That's when you could use estimation. And there's several other cases when you might use estimation. For instance, when you just want to get a rough idea about something rather than a firm number. And sometimes you can't get a firm number about something you're counting. Those occasions do arise. So let's have a look at estimation. This may be fairly familiar to you. There's really just three ways of rounding when we're using estimation. And that's an essential part of estimation, is rounding. Let's look at some examples. So let's have a look at 1.3 and 1.5 and 1.7. So three methods of rounding. So the first one is rounding. No up, no down. It's just called rounding. And the rules of rounding are basically if it's greater than or equal to 5, round up. Okay? And in all cases where it's 4 or lower, so less than 4 or equal to 4, you round down. Okay, very simple. So let's look at rounding as applied to these examples. So 1.3 is less than 4, so that would be 1. 1.5 is greater than or equal to 5. It's equal to 5, so that we round up to 2. And 1.7, so 7 is greater than 5, so we'd round up to 2 also. So let's look at these numbers again, but we're only looking at rounding down. 0.7. Okay, so that was just rounding we looked at. This is rounding down. And as the name suggests, you basically round down in every case. So 1.3 would be 1, 1.5 is 1, and 1.7 is 1. Okay, nothing to it. And rounding up, very similar, I'll do it on the right here, is just rounding up in every case. So 1.3 is 2, 1.5 is 2, and 1.7 is 2 also. So they're the three main rules of rounding, and they're essential for estimation. You apply rounding to various problems. One of the problems you'll see in your textbook is clustering around a common value. So when you're given a long list of numbers, you can round each of those numbers and get a result without doing the full calculation. So it's a lot easier to round, say, 7.3 and 7.1. You round those numbers and then you add them together. It's a lot easier and quicker to do that than just to actually add all your numbers together. And another case of using estimation is rounding to the first digit. That just is about what value place you round to. And another example is when you would use estimation and rounding is rounding the dividend to a multiple of the divisor.